Hello, everyone, and welcome yourself and all of your friends and family to Heavenly Album Covers, the only album cover channel on YouTube that really makes sense. And here we are, right in front of an album cover by the REVIVALMEN, and this album is called A New Beginning, and we must first de-shrink this album. It has been in its own particular shrink wrap for decades probably, and it's tightly sealed. It's a wonderfully sealed record album, and we must take it out of its shrink wrap in order to look at the album cover itself more closely. You must always be careful when you de-shrink an album. Let's get a better view on this. There we go. And you have to be very careful and deliberate. You don't want to get your fingers, especially your thumb, caught in the shrink wrap. It can be a very disastrous thing if you get caught up in the shrink wrap. Sometimes when you take off the shrink wrap, it's still very dangerous. It can get between your index finger and your middle finger, and it can really hurt. So we have fully de-shrinked and taken off the shrink wrap of this REVIVALMEN album, and it looks like the label has a couple of flamingos. They're hanging out at a pond. And there's the REVIVALMEN text here on the label, the song listings, and this was made in Nashville, Tennessee. And so we've de-shrunk this album by the REVIVALMEN, and here indeed are the REVIVALMEN. They're just hanging out in some sort of building or windows, couple of windows here maybe, and it also looks kind of like a barn. The REVIVALMEN are just kind of hanging out. These two REVIVALMEN have really heavy boots on, really big shoes. The REVIVALMEN are all dressed in similar fashion. They all have nice haircuts. They're all smiling and hanging out, looking at the camera. And let's pull this album up a little bit and look at the REVIVALMEN closer. This album is called A New Beginning. The REVIVALMEN have forgotten the past. They have dealt with the past, and they're making a new beginning here on this album cover. These two gentlemen have their hands kind of folded over their other hands, and these guys are real happy. They have just finished a concert down the street, and they were told that they could take their album cover photo in this building down the street after the concert. This lettering at the top is really handsome. It's kind of hand accomplished. There's the Discovery Downing flamingo logo up here in the corner, and for some reason they've put the song titles very, very low in the album cover space. They're almost incomprehensible down here. You can hardly see them. They're in about 3-point type, and they're in black, and they're hidden in the shadows here, the song titles. And here are the two boots of the REVIVALMEN. I assume that they have other legs with other boots on them. And let's look at the reverse side. There is the window, and this is probably where the REVIVALMEN were hanging out on the cover, but it looks like it's a nighttime shot. Here are some descriptive liner notes here telling all about the REVIVALMEN and how they've stirred up crowds and they've spread their faith. And the REVIVALMEN are called Curtis, Gordy, John, and Van, and they are 4 men. They are REVIVALMEN. This was recorded at Superior Sound Studios somewhere, and the artist for this cover, probably she did the logos and everything, and the lettering was Linda Hazen. These photos were taken by Bill Grine, Grine. And so these are the REVIVALMEN, and I'm thinking this album came out in about 1967 or possibly 1969.